My name's Jaime and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, I talk about knitting and that's pretty much it. So if that interests you, feel free to subscribe so you'll know when I upload more videos in the future. You can also check out my Instagram. I'm like most active there. It's at Jaime_creates. Also on TikTok, which is the same username. So yeah, I post a lot on there. So feel free to follow. The link will be in the description. A bit more about me. So I'm a knitwear designer as well as a content creator. So if you're interested in buying any of my knitting patterns, the links will be in the description. I sell on my website, on Etsy, on Ravelry. A couple of my patterns are on Ribbler as well. I'm currently wearing the Happy Hour top, which is my best-selling pattern. I have a bunch of other Happy Hour designs that have come out and also one in the works, which you'll see in this video. But yeah, this is made with the bulky yarn. You can do it in either lightweight or a bulky yarn. So yeah, if you want to check out the pattern, the link will be in the description. If you are curious, this is made with this most gorgeous hand-dyed yarn from Bella Filato Studio, which is a indie dyer, and it's the Bella Big yarn in the shade All Dolled Up, I think. It was part of her like Valentine's Day collection earlier in the year, so you probably wouldn't be able to get it now, but in case you were curious about what yarn this is. So with that out of the way, in today's video, I am actually going to be doing something I haven't done yet on this channel, but it's definitely going to be something I do a lot more often in the future. I was just waiting a little bit before because I just got home from Europe a few weeks ago, and so I wanted to build up my WIPs and also finish some projects so that I could do a WIPs and FOs I guess knitting podcast. I'm also going to talk about some yarn acquisitions that I've had since coming home. Before I get into that, a bit of context. So I did I guess an FOs video a few weeks ago, which was my first video on my channel, where I talked about everything that I made while I was away in Europe. So that was basically just like 2 months worth of FOs, finished objects by the way, and WIPs is work in progress. And so yeah, I didn't have like many WIPs at the time to show, so I thought I'll just show everything I made while I was away. And now that I have been back for a couple of weeks, I've started a bunch of projects. I've also finished a few, some that I had like started before I left Europe and didn't take with me, some that I started while I was away and finished since I've been home. I still have one WIP that I started in Europe that I haven't finished, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I thought I'll just show you basically everything I've been working on and that I've finished. And I'll also show you some yarn that I have received as a gift and also purchased. So yeah, hopefully this video won't be too long. But I guess it's probably going to be kind of like a knitting podcast. Not a knit with me because firstly I want to show you all my WIPs, so you know, I'm not really going to be working on anything during this video, but also the last video I was knitting and I said I wasn't going to be staring at my lap the whole time, but I was, because I just, for some reason, don't know how to knit without looking. I have absolutely no trust in myself. So yeah, I'll be making a lot more eye contact in this video. Okay, so I have everything in 2 piles behind me here. So I'm going to start with the WIPs, and then yeah, eventually this pile is going to disappear because I'm going to just chuck everything on the floor once I'm done. This first one is the only project I started in Europe that I am yet to finish, or that I haven't frogged. It's almost done, like I'm not even joking. I have like half a short sleeve, like it's literally, you'll see, like they're short puff sleeves. Like I have so little left to go. I think that's like all I have to do really. There might be 1 or 2 other little like finishing touches, but that's for the most part, like that's all I have to finish. But because I started this in Europe, it was summer there. Now I'm home. It honestly could be a nice spring pattern. So I think I will try and finish it, you know, in the next month maybe, or in November, because I think it will be a good top, hopefully, to wear. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to look on me, just in terms of, it's quite different to my usual style, but I really loved the pattern and it looked really pretty on Phoebe, so I thought, yeah, I'll get it. And I thought it would be good for this yarn that I bought, but yeah, I'll try finish it soon, but I'm not in a huge rush to finish it now because it's not really appropriate for the weather at the moment. And since I've been working on it for so long, I'm just excited by my other projects at the moment, and I want to come back to this when I'm motivated. But it's been a good one that I just was picking up and putting down constantly throughout pretty much my entire trip. Like I started it in London, which is when I bought the yarn, which was only my second stop of my trip. So I worked on it for ages. So this is it. It is the Eloise top by Friday Knits. It's very, very beautiful. It has this gorgeous popcorn stitch detailing with this mohair yarn that I'm using. I'll tell you the yarns in a second. I did kind of stuff up the back. I kind of just misread the pattern, and I didn't know you were supposed to there was supposed to be like a whole rib section, like a rib section up the back, which I guess was supposed to cinch the top in a little bit more and make it a little bit more shaped and fitted. Yeah, somehow I just totally missed that and just kept like knitting in stockinette. And I only realized like when I was like really close to the bottom and I just did not want to unravel it. And I tried it on and I was still happy with how it fits. So it doesn't have that detailing. I guess because I didn't really see any photos of the back, I didn't realize that was the case, and I just misread the pattern. So I just didn't get that. Totally not Phoebe's fault, definitely my fault, because I was working on this so on and off that I think just like it was hard for me to remember where I was up to, and I was working on it always like on the go because it was a good pattern to take with me on the go because it's so small. Now it's a bit bigger, but at the time it was really little. Got the yarn still attached for the sleeve. As you can see, I'm in the middle of these short rows, but this sleeve is done. I just think this popcorn stitch is just so gorgeous, and like it's just adorable. That's like the only thing I can say. It's just adorable, especially with this like really, really cute colored yarn. So yeah, I think I also am gonna need to add like a button or something for this back section. So that's also gonna be on the to-do list. Buy some buttons or buy a button. But yeah, so I knitted this, I'm knitting this using both Ching fiber yarns. The mohair is the Veronita yarn. So I have the label here. So this is actually not a mohair yarn. I totally lied. It looks like a mohair yarn, but it's actually 79% cashmere, 21% silk. So it's actually not even mohair. I've just been assuming it's mohair this whole time because it's fluffy and like so thin, but it's actually cashmere and silk, which is obviously why it's so soft, and that's obviously why it was so expensive. I bought this yarn as well as the yarn that I'm using for the body, which is it's not the Dashing DK, it's I cannot remember the name. It's like the other I think it's like maybe Super Soft DK. I don't have the label with me, but I think it's a Super Soft DK. She has two different DK yarns, and it's not the Dashing DK, I know that. And the shade Peachy. So yeah, they're both Ching fiber, and that one I think is just like a merino. But yeah, so the fact that this is a silk and cashmere, like it's just so soft against the skin, like not even slightly itchy, like at all. So I think it will be really nice to wear. It will feel really nice. I am very curious as to how this is gonna like, just how I'm gonna style it, because it's real, like seeing it on other people, I was like, oh my God, it looks so beautiful. It's this like Bridgerton inspired design, and Phoebe is such a intricate pattern designer. Like her designs are so interestingly constructed. Like whenever I make one, I'm always like, wow, I would have never thought to construct this that way, but like it always works out so well. And she's very, very clever and talented, but yeah, I think it's not necessarily something I would normally wear, so I think it'll be interesting to see how I can like make this work with my wardrobe and how I can style it to hopefully like I'll feel, really beautiful in it, because it is such a beautiful design. But yeah, it is quite different, and I don't think it's going to be like an everyday top. Like I think I'd wear it maybe for like a nice afternoon tea or something. I don't know. Okay, moving on. So this is a work in progress that I started when I came home pretty much straight away because I was so excited to use this yarn. So it is so beautiful. Just please look at it before I even tell you anything about it. Like just admire how stunning this stitch is, and like, and this yarn, it's just everything. So the pattern is the To Be So Lonely sweater by Cara's Knitting. I was so excited to get this pattern. I knew that I had the perfect yarn for it when I would get home. So I bought it pretty much immediately. And I am actually going to need to unravel the seams and undo the neck shaping because I definitely didn't make my armholes long enough. I think when I was measuring, it was hard to measure properly because of like when it was on the needles, I don't know, I just couldn't really measure it well with the stitches as well with this lace stitch. I think it was just difficult. But now that I've seamed the shoulders, I know that it's definitely not the right length, and I don't want the sleeve to be sit really tightly. So yeah, I'm gonna undo that, which I have been procrastinating because I'm really nervous about unraveling even a few rows of this stitch. It's such an intricate stitch. I've made so many mistakes and like not fixed them and just like kept going, and you can't really tell, so it's fine. But yeah, this stitch is really difficult to also just like the Melted Baby Suri is just difficult to unravel sometimes, and so I'm a bit nervous, so I kind of just need to be in the right headspace for it. But I do want to finish this because it's really good weather to wear this right now, and I'm obsessed with the color, which is, sorry, I didn't tell you the yarn. It's Ching Fiber Melted Baby Suri in the shade Cheese, which I actually was going to show you in my yarn acquisitions, but I'll just show you now. So yeah, this was one of the yarns that I got. It arrived while I was away, maybe on like the 3rd day of my trip, so I had to wait the whole time before I got back and going. It was in my house, which was devastating. But yeah, so this is the yarn. The skeins, I'll show you. So I got 3 skeins, and one of them is quite a bit more like, it's just quite a bit more vibrant than this, and I don't know if you can tell on camera. I'm not sure how well you can see the difference between these two. It's slight, and it's obviously just because, yeah, with hand-dyed yarn, that's kind of what happens. I did order them all together, but you really never know. These two are pretty much the same, I reckon, but this one is just slightly more, it's not darker, but it's just got more pigment to it. So what I did, instead of making mistakes that I've made in the past, what I did was I've just been alternating between those 2 skeins, and you really can't tell. So I've been doing that, and then look, at some point I might run out of that more vibrant one, but hopefully it won't make much of a difference. And yeah, I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm super happy with how this is working out, but I just need to make some adjustments to it and then get onto the sleeves. The pattern is brilliant. Cara is like such a great pattern writer. It's definitely not beginner friendly. Like this lace stitch has me, I know it had Cara, like it was tough for her to figure this one out, and it's definitely, for some reason, like you think you're doing it right, and then you realize you're like, why do I not have the right amount of stitches between like my stitch markers? And I don't know, I just don't know why that happens, but I think it really requires a lot of concentration, which I don't know, I like to multitask when I'm knitting. So yeah, and like because the whole thing is in lace, like there's no sections that aren't in lace, it's just like it's a lot of mental energy. But this did work up really quickly. Like once you kind of get on a roll, because the stitches, you know, got lots of holes and whatever, and it's worked up on like, oh, I actually can't even remember, maybe 6mm needles. It does work up quite quick. But yeah, I'm definitely going to, I mean, I can even see like these aren't even the same length, the front and the back, so I'm gonna need to do some adjustments with this, but we'll get to that, and hopefully in my next video this can be an FO that I can show you. Okay, speaking of Cara, there were so many patterns that she released while I was away that I wanted to make, but I didn't have the yarn for, and it just wasn't going to be realistic to make while I was away and traveling. But this one has not made much progress. I did start it a little while ago, a couple weeks ago probably, but I haven't made that much progress on it. I did work on it for a few hours, not a few hours, maybe like an hour the other night. And it does not look at all like what it's gonna be. But let me try and hold it up. There's just, don't mind the provisional cast on at the bottom. But so this is the front, and you can see I've done 2 straps. I literally just stopped working on it because I didn't want to knit the straps, even though they don't take that long. And I just despise I-cords. Like I don't actually despise them, but I don't enjoy doing them because I find it boring. So I just neglect projects when I get to the I-cord. But normally that's like at the end, but this was like so early on. So I just got to do it. The next thing I need to do is the straps for the back. And then after that, it's going to be a beautiful dress. So this is the to the nines dress pattern. It's her first dress pattern. This is literally just going to be the top. So it has, the straps are going to, oh, it's like caught. The straps are gonna like tie, so this is the front, and then there'll be another one at the back and they'll tie up. So I think that's a really cool element of the pattern, and then it's just going to be as long as the yarn I have lets me make it. I only have 3 skeins of the Wool and the Gang Take Care Mohair. There's one behind me. My display yarn's gonna have to go at some point, but yeah, so it's the Wool and the Gang Take Care Mohair in Bubblegum Pink, and this is actually my first time using this yarn, and I am loving it so far. It's a really versatile yarn. I'm knitting this on 4.5mm needles, and it calls for 5.5mm, but my gauge was a bit loose, so I sized down and it's perfect. Like, you can also knit this yarn with like 10mm needles and it would still look good because it's a super chunky mohair. So yeah, this is just obviously like, I don't really want it to have any, like, I don't want it to be see-through like it's a dress. I want it to have structure and I want it to be wearable. It looks great with the small stitches. The yarn's still easy to knit with, even though it's like, there's a lot of fluff. I haven't found that it's, well, it wouldn't be easy to unravel, so I'm hoping I don't make many mistakes, but so far it's okay, and I'm obsessed with the color, and I really hope that I wear it. It would also be quite like different for me. I don't really wear tight dresses very often, but I think it would be a really fun one. So I will eventually, once I get to the stockinette in the round, it's just going to work up so quickly. I just need to get to that point, but I think this is a good one. I just wanted a project I could pick up whenever I just need a mindless knit, and then because it wasn't so mindless, because I had to do all this shaping for the like all this maths just to work out how big it's all, because it's made to measure, by the way. It's totally customizable. So this starting bit is not super mindless, and so that's why I haven't really been working on it as much. But once I just get through that part and I'm just knitting stockinette for ages, it's going to be a great project to just pick up when I am watching something, or I just don't really want to be thinking too much, but I want to knit. So yeah, because I haven't done that much, it has been a good project to take with me on the go though. So that's been good for now, but I know at some point that's not going to be the case. I think that's all I have to say about this. It might not be finished in the next video, but I'll show you my progress if it's not finished. Okay, the next one is the project I have basically not stopped working on until yesterday, honestly. Yesterday was the first day I casted on something new since I started this, and I did only start it, today's Wednesday. I started it on not this most recent Saturday, the one before, so a week and a half ago. And this project should take a lot longer than it has taken me. I've literally just neglected like every other whip and spent a lot of time working on it. I've also fully released a pattern in the last week and have spent a lot of time, and I've edited a full YouTube video. I haven't just been knitting this, but I've spent a lot of time knitting this, and it works up a lot quicker than you think, mostly just because it's addictive. So I'm going to show it to you now. So here it is. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to hold this. My sweater number 20. Here, like, I don't know. It's a bit hard with this neckline to hold it up, but that's the front. That's the back. I'm currently on Sleeve Island, and I have just got myself to stop because I wanted to start something else yesterday, but I'm so freaking excited to finish this. I've just been craving something like this in my wardrobe. You'd think I'd have every single knit that's gonna fit every single vibe and mood in my wardrobe already, but I don't. I don't have something like this, something super soft and cozy and also like drapey. Like, I feel like some of my soft, like some of my warmer knits, they're quite stiff or they're just bulky, and I just wanted something, this, you know, it's knit with like, I'll find the label and I'll tell you what yarn this is in a second, because it's also part of my acquisitions. So I guess I'm doing the acquisitions throughout as well as at the end. But I just wanted, yeah, it's still super warm and it's still very cozy, but it's not super bulky to the point where it's heavy. And I just wanted something that I could just throw on at home when I'm just being lazy, which is a lot of the time. You know, I work from home, so I spend a lot of time at home, and I want to be comfortable and cozy. But then also something that I could dress up and wear out. Just, I think this is going to be a staple of my closet for like years. I think it's super timeless, and I've been obsessing over this pattern since I saw it, which was a few months ago. So yeah, this is, and I just think the blue is really nice. I haven't knitted with a lot of blue lately, so I was drawn to this color, and I'm obsessed with the folded V-neck neckline. I love a folded neckline. It is one of the it's pretty much a staple of a lot of my patterns. but I've never done it with a V-neck. So now I'm really happy that I've tried this before, because potentially I could incorporate something like this into one of my own patterns, because I really love the folded neck. It did take ages because it's such a big one and it's so many rows, and you have to knit double the amount of rows. But I was just so excited to try it on that I just powered through, basically. The cables are obviously so intricate and just perfection. Like, this entire pattern is incredible. I've been having fun working off all the charts and getting better at reading charts. I'm so in love. I cannot wait to finish this. I want to finish it in the next few weeks, because I am going on like a short little holiday just for 2 nights with my boyfriend. We're going to this like tiny cabin in the middle of nowhere, pretty much, and I just think it will be a nice one to wear, you know, just like a really cozy vibe. I think it will be a nice one to wear there. Worst case scenario, I can always bring it and like knit it and maybe finish it when I'm there, because we're gonna have a lot of time on our hands with no reception and 2 days in the middle of nowhere. So I'm sure I'll get a lot of knitting done. So worst case scenario, I can work on it there and maybe finish it. But I would like to just take it along with me and wear it for 2 days and maybe get some photos in it. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that. I'm so freaking excited about it. I highly recommend this pattern. It's just beautiful. Let me just get my yarn and I'll tell you all about it. I thought I had everything with me, but I actually didn't have this yarn. So I bought this yarn at my local yarn store. So I'm not sure, you know, how accessible it is online or whatever. I haven't really looked into it, but it was at my local yarn store. So the brand is Shaksa, I'm not sure exactly how to say it. Alpaca yarns. So I'll show you the yarn just so that you can see. Hopefully, I don't know if I could do this, you'll be able to see it. But it's an alpaca air. I think that's the name of the yarn. It's actually a 12 ply. So this pattern called for, because this is it's 100 meters for 50 grams. So that's what the pattern called for a 50 gram 100 meter yarn, and then also held with like a mohair. But I couldn't really find any mohair at the store that I wanted, that matched the way I would like it to, color wise. And this one's already quite fluffy, and I didn't really want it to be as dense. And I was like, hopefully I can just match gauge. And also it was quite expensive, so I just didn't really want to add on so much price wise. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's come out without the mohair. I don't necessarily think it needs it. I think it obviously depends on what yarn you use, because this is an alpaca yarn. Actually, I'll tell you, it's 80% baby alpaca, 20% polyamide. So it's obviously different to if you were using like 100% wool, which I think the pattern might call for. So yeah, I'm using it. It's a different fiber content. So, but it's the same weight. So obviously, yeah, I think that is why maybe it's come out a little bit more draggy, but that's exactly what I wanted. So I'm really happy with it. And this yarn is just so soft. Like, it would be a great yarn. I mean, I don't know if alpacas for good for babies. I feel like I hear mixed messages about that, but it's a super soft yarn. So yeah, and I'd highly recommend it if you're wanting something really soft like this. But yeah, I'm not too sure how accessible it is, because I just got it from my local yarn store. But that's that. The next 2 eps I both started yesterday, because I was just having a moment yesterday where I did nothing except knit, pretty much. Did not open my laptop, which was not good. So I'm super excited. I tried to see if I could finish this whole project in a day, but I got a bit sick of it. My hands were getting a bit sore, and I just thought, you know what? And for what? Like, for what? Why do I need to finish this project in a day? I don't. I can finish it today or tomorrow or whenever. Probably won't finish it today because I am a bit busy, but yeah, I can finish it whenever. It's not, there's no rush. So it's right now just one sleeve, as you can see. So pretty. This yarn is stunning. I'm currently working on the back section because it's going to be like a bolero, so it's not going to have a front, it's just going to have a back, so it's kind of like a cardigan with no body, I guess. But yeah, boleros are super like in fashion right now, and I'm getting around them. I'm using 1 skein for this. This is how much I got left, so it's definitely going to be enough. I'm probably about halfway through the back section right now. But this is the sleeve. It's this gorgeous ombre. I had no idea this yarn was going to be an ombre yarn, and I'm so happy that it is. It looks so pretty for for this sleeve, and just the way that this is working up is so cool. So the yarn is also from my local yarn store, but I believe that they stock this yarn at lots of different like local yarn stores. Like I don't think it's just mine, but the brand is, I think, Chopel. I don't know, there's a cat in the way, but I think it's Chopel. And this is the cotton. So this is the Zorba ball cotton. Yeah, it's 100% cotton, I'm pretty sure. 100 grams. Pretty much everything else that's on this label is in German, so sorry, but that's the label so that you can see. My boyfriend actually got me this yarn for my birthday. I didn't know he was buying me yarn. It was very brave of him. He went to the store and just got what he thought I'd like, but he chose very well because I really, really like this yarn. It's like super, super fun to work up. It's really nice to see how the colors change. There's like even some purple and like hot pink in here that I haven't even like been able to use yet with what I've done so far. So yeah, this is going to work up super cool. And this was all in like a few hours work. So definitely a quick one. I was just trying to like speed knit and do it all in one day. I think it's because I'm making a reel. So I thought, oh, if I do it all in one day, it'll be consistent, but that's just stupid. So whatever. I don't have that much to say about this project, except that I'm really excited about it. And I hope that it turns out how I want it. I'm totally experimenting with the pattern. I'm just improvising it. So, you know, so far the only thing is that when I tried it on, the back section, because of the cotton yarn, it's just different to the last sleeves that I worked on, which I'll show you in my FOs. It doesn't roll as much like when it's out. I don't know, maybe it's because I was stretching it out, but we'll see once I actually finish them. But I might need to do like an I-cord edging or something just to neaten up the sleeves. I'm not sure, but I will probably need to do, not the sleeves, the edges. I'll need to do something to neaten up the edges. But yeah, that's the only thing that I'm not so sure about right now, but that's okay. My last whip is one that I started last night. I am so freaking excited about. I can't wait till like the sun comes out at some point. Maybe tomorrow the sun will come out and so I can like really see it in the light. So this is the current progress that I have made on the happy hour cardigan, which I genuinely did not think I would actually do. After the happy hour jumper, I was like, this took so long to write. And it was just like, I don't know, am I like overkilling it with this would be my 4th happy hour design. And I don't know, I just was starting to think that maybe people didn't want it, but then I did a poll on Instagram and people were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I actually don't think it will be that hard to adapt the jumper into the cardigan. It might still require me to do lots of swatches when it comes to grading it. I think I'm trying to finesse a way that I could like make it quite similar to the jumper, but I don't think that's going to work. So I think I'm going to have to do it, but it's okay. I'm setting my mind to it. And I'm super excited by what I've done with these colors. So I'm hoping that will motivate me to get the sample knit up pretty quickly and then I can get onto the pattern, get it tested, get it out. Hopefully by the time like winter in the US comes around. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm using a bunch of like, some of it's scraps, but for the most part, just like stray skeins that I have of different colors. Like I only have one skein of each color, so they're not really useful on their own, but put them all together, I think I should have enough for a cardigan based on the yardage I used for the jumper. So I think I should have enough, fingers crossed. Otherwise I don't know, we'll figure something out. But yeah, so this is the progress I've made so far. I just started it last night, so I just wanted to get like, I got like almost two whole rounds of the repeats done. And it's basically, I can tell you what combination I'm using. I'm looking at the yarns on my bed. So it's Santa's Garn Cos in Shocking Pink, Drops Air in Light Pink, I think. Then the purple is Wool and the Gang Feeling Good Yarn in Lilac Powder. The light blue is Drops Air in Morning Mist. The kind of other blue is Wool and the Gang Feeling Good Yarn. I think it's Duck Egg Blue. And then I have Santa's Garn Cos in Pistachio Green, Hobby Diviner in the shade Primrose for the yellow, and then also another one, a Hobby Diviner in the shade Rose, which is like a bit of a darker pink than this one, which I used at the bottom and is next up on my rotation. So I just think this is like a unicorn. I think I wrote on my Instagram, like, I've entered like pastel unicorn ombre dreamland or something like that. Like that's how I feel. Like it is just, it reminds me kind of like an iridescent, like light reflection. I don't know. It's just so pretty. It's inspired by a couple of people who have knit the happy hour designs using either like an ombre color changing yarn, or they've done the color changing themselves, or people have done scrap projects. And I just think, yeah, that's so cool because it does, most of the yarns that are recommended for it are 2 strands held together, so you can really do a lot with that. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be doing something like this again. I haven't really done many color change designs like this or projects like this in so long. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going. It's obviously going to take a bit, it's going to feel like it's going to take longer than the jumper because the jumper's worked up in panels, like a front panel and a back panel. So you finish a panel a bit quicker, but this is like the whole bottom section is like this. So, so it just feels like it's taking longer, but it probably will take like the same amount of time, to make. So that's okay. That's good. I'm hoping to finish it soon. I'm very quick when it comes to happy hour designs because I'm really used to doing the stitch pattern. So like I've memorized it, so I don't have to like read a pattern while I'm working on it. So I'm hoping it works up quickly and then I can get this pattern out, and then I think that will be it for happy hour designs. I'm pretty sure, unless I get like a random idea at some point. But yeah, I don't want to overdo it. So yeah, I think I'm going to do the cardigan, and then I'll feel good to have this top and then the chunky version of the top, and then the jumper and the cardigan. I don't think I need a chunky version of the cardigan or jumper. I think that would be too much. So yeah, that's that one. Wish me luck with size grading it. But yeah, that will be coming very soon. At least a testicle will be coming soon. Okay, I don't have that many FOs to show you, so this won't take super long. This is the first project I finished when I came home because I started it towards the end of my trip in Italy and I just couldn't finish. I couldn't finish it because I had to order more yarn. I ran out of yarn, so I ordered more straight to my house, and it had arrived before I even got home, so I could finish it very quickly. So these are some sleeves, my first pair of sleeves that I improvised. So hopefully you can see it has like a front bit and a front bit and a back bit, and then this like cool cutout along it goes like along the arm, and then this cool drop stitch that I've done throughout, and now you can see the other one as well. But yeah, so this is an improvised pattern, very inspired in terms of like the shape by art by Cara, and also this other knitter that I follow, Teriyaki DK. I just really like the construction, so that is inspired by them. But I just improvised this. I really thought the drop stitch thing looked pretty cool. And yeah, the yarn is Malabrigo worsted in the shade Orchard, and I bought that in Lisbon. It's a beautiful yarn. It's stunning. It's so soft, and it's like a single ply, so it's really fun to knit with, and the stitches just show up really nicely. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Like, it's just freaking gorgeous. I'm really happy I was able to find a website, like an Australian website that ships obviously to Australia, that had that shade in stock. I was super lucky because it's so hit or miss with Malabrigo. Like sometimes literally nowhere has any shade that you want. So I'm very lucky that I found one and that I could get it super quick. And I'm super happy with how these sleeves turned out considering it was completely improvised. People have been asking for a pattern. I am just kind of figuring out like the perfect sleeves pattern. Like I'm working now on this bolero. Like I don't know if I would want to do it made to measure. There's just a lot of things to think about, but I haven't completely ruled it out. But I'm not 100% sure if I want to do a pattern. Also because like there are a lot of sleeves patterns out already. Or I don't know. Is it just a trend that's just gonna like come and then go? And I don't know how like much longevity it has. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'm interested to see once the weather gets a little bit less cold, like would I actually wear these? I still don't really know. I might sell them, to be honest. We'll see. Okay, the next one you probably would have seen already if you watched one of my last YouTube videos. Not my last one, the one before. Or if you're seen on Instagram, I've already posted it. But in case you haven't, or if you have, I'm just showing you again. This is my finished test knit for the Oopsie Daisy top, which is by Cara's Knitting. So happy with how this turned out. This is just me showing it to you. So happy with how it turned out. It's so soft. I used a combination of Ching Fiber, Melted Baby Suri. I used 2 different colors. One was Stun and one was Markut. And then I used Ching Fiber Dashing DK in the shade Spaceship for the base. And then the petals was Hobby Diviner in the shade Rose and Primrose. So really happy with how this turned out. If you want to watch my full process of me making this test knit from start to finish, I have a video already up, so you can check that out, and I talk a lot more about it in there. But yeah, super happy with it. And the pattern is also out now, so if you were wanting to make one, you can get the pattern from Cara's website. Okay, and the last finished object is this, babes. So I actually started this, and pretty much I had done almost all of it except one sleeve before I left for Europe, but I ran out of yarn, and so I needed to order more, and that came while I was away, so I could only finish it when I got back. I also just wouldn't have brought it with me because it's too big a project. So I finished it when I got back because I was so excited to finally finish this design. And now I have written the pattern, and by the time you're seeing this video, I will have chosen testers. Hopefully, I'm gonna actually do that after I film this. So hopefully I would have chosen and contacted testers, and it's gonna be on its way into testing, and hopefully be able to release it maybe November, I reckon. I think it'll be a November release just because it is quite a big project. I want to give my testers enough time to complete it. So this is the Josephine Jumper in all her glory. She has the biggest balloon sleeves you could ever imagine. A gorgeous lace detailing, which hopefully is showing up well in this lighting. And a folded neckline, as I said, is a staple in a lot of my patterns. And she is just a fluffy dream. Like, it is so soft. It's knitted with Melted Baby Suri from Ching Fiber in the shade Markut. I think that's how you say it. It's a bit of a weird shade name, Markut. I don't really know how else you'd say it. So, yeah. I was wearing this, I think, in one of my last videos. So you might have already seen it. It's also been on my Instagram. But in case you haven't, this is her. This is she. I'm obsessed. I have been wearing it quite a lot. It's really good for this in-between weather. It's super lightweight. Like, it's really not like an intense winter jumper, but it also just depends on the climate. It's a good layering piece as well. But I think this will be really good for like spring and autumn. And then if you live in like somewhere with a warmer climate where the winters don't necessarily get super cold, maybe like California, or in Australia if you live up north, it would be a really good pattern for then, a really good piece to wear in those seasons. Super versatile, and I can't wait to see what my testers do with this pattern and what they make. And yeah, I'm just really in love with it. It's my first ever lace design, so I'm really excited to finally have a lace pattern. It's not a lot of lace, it's just the center on both the front and the back. It's the same lace pattern, so it's not super hectic. It doesn't require so much concentration because it's only, for a couple of stitches every row. So yeah, or every second row actually. It's not even every row. So yeah, it's super beautiful, super classic, super simple, but I really love it. So yeah, I hope you also love it, and keep your eyes peeled for when the pattern eventually comes out. I'm sure I'll tell you, but yeah. Okay, almost done. I told you, everything's disappeared, except I'm going to show you a few more yarn acquisitions that I have acquired since coming home, as well as one other really cool thing that I've got. So I've already shown you this Melted Baby Suri yarn, but I also got a few other Melted Baby Suri yarn. So I also got the Spaceship yarn, which I showed in one of my other videos. I've already used it, so now I just like I can't really show it to you, but I got another shade in the Dashing DK as well. It's actually behind me as well, but I'll show you just up close. So this is the shade Sherbet, These were all from her Kawaii Alien collection. I think that's what it was called. So this is, yeah, Dashing DK in the shade Sherbet. As you, hopefully you can like see it nicely up close. I don't know how well it's like focusing because I can't actually see, but it's super, super pretty. It came out quite differently than I thought it would. I think just because, you know, the shade obviously looks different on different bases, but it's not as pigmented as I thought it would be. It's a little bit lighter, I guess, but I think that will still be really, really nice. And I'm excited to come up with an idea. I still have no idea what I'm going to use this for, but I kind of like the idea of just waiting. We'll see. I really love this yarn. I already used the Dashing DK in the shade Spaceship, and that was super, super soft. I can already feel how soft it is. It's super nice to work with, so I'm really excited to use this for something. Hi, editing me here. I'm just editing the video, and I realized that somehow I completely forgot to talk about one of the other yarns that I got in the same shipment as those other Ching Fiber yarns. It's literally behind me for the entire video, so I'm totally unsure about how I just completely forgot to talk about it. So I'll show it to you now, but I also will probably insert a photo from her Instagram because the lighting's not the best right now. So this is the yarn. Probably been staring at it behind me for the whole video anyway, but it's the Pearl yarn, which is like a slub yarn. It's a superwash merino 90% and 10% nylon, and the shade is Tamagotchi. This shade was just freaking insane. Like, I just had to try it. I had to get it. I had to see it in real life. I haven't decided what to make with it yet because I'm just really enjoying looking at it and having it as a decoration. I know that's like not what yarn is for, and I will definitely use it soon. I think I probably will make sleeves with it because I only have one, so I don't really know how much else. It's like 400 meters, so it's a decent amount, but I don't know how much one can get me, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get like another one of these until she potentially restocks, but it's very unpredictable with Ching Fiber. So yeah, I don't know how many of the shades she's going to be restocking from that collection, but yeah, I think sleeves will be good. I think 400 meters is enough, and we'll hopefully cast something on soon, but right now I just would need to find something else to replace this with on my pinboard. So until then, it's staying there, but it's totally not a reason not to use yarn, but I'm really liking it as a decoration. So yeah, tension, but I will cast it on soon, and I'm freaking obsessed with this yarn. Like, look at the shade. It is just, it's everything. And then the last one is something I actually received as a gift kindly from Natato Yarn, which is an Australian yarn brand, and they kindly gifted me their new Silky Cloud yarn. So I'll show you up close so you can see. They gave me a bunch of skeins, I think like 5 skeins. So this is just one of them. And this is, I'll just tell you, so it's an 82% Super Kid mohair and 18% silk yarn. And I got it in the shade Uber Purple, I think. Uber Purple, something like that. The purple one. It's super, super soft, like really, really nice because it's obviously got, you know, the silk in it. That makes it a lot softer than their other mohair yarn, which is the Mohair Cloud yarn. So it's quite similar in terms of weight, but it's definitely a lot softer. So I'm excited to come up with a project for it. I still also don't really know what I'm going to make with it, but I thought I hadn't used a lot of purple recently. I haven't really used many purples or blues, so I'm excited to just kind of incorporate those more into my knitting rotation. And thanks so much to Natato for kindly gifting me this yarn. It's really, really great. If you're based in Australia, I'd highly recommend checking out Natato. They have really gorgeous yarns. And hopefully in my next video, you'll see a whip or an FO, depending on how fast I work or when that video comes out. I don't really know how often I'm going to do these, but yeah, hopefully you'll see me working on or worked on something with this in the next video. The last thing I want to show you was also kindly gifted to me. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have already seen this, but I thought I would just show it to you on YouTube as well because I just think it's so cool. So this is neck knitting light from Lumos. I think they're based in the US, but they ship worldwide. This came really quickly to my house in Australia. So what it is obviously it's a knitting light. I'll show you. yeah, you can see I've just turned the lights on. They come with like different light settings, and I guess you have your knitting in front of you and you can like adjust the angle that you want them to. They're super like flexible, and then they stay exactly where you want them to stay. So like that's really, really good. They're not flimsy, they're very sturdy, super comfortable. You literally can't even feel like it's so light you don't even feel like you're wearing it. Like you don't even notice it, but it's so helpful for maybe when it's a bit gloomy out, or you want to knit in the dark or at nighttime, or wherever you are, and maybe you want to knit and you're watching a movie at home and you don't actually want to have the lights on, you want to have the lights dim, but then you want to still knit. It's perfect for that. It's just good in general for like being able to see your stitches more clearly. If you're knitting with dark or like black yarn, I think it would be really helpful for that too. I personally don't ever use black, but if that's your thing, it would be helpful. I've already found myself using it quite a few times, especially when it gets like really dark in the room because it's just gloomy and rainy. It's been super rainy here in this last like week. So I've been using it instead of just turning the light on and wasting electricity. I've just been using these. So it's really good for that as well. And I have nothing bad to say about them, honestly. So I actually have a discount code for these. It's Jaime25, I believe, all lowercase. You can try uppercase as well, but I'm pretty sure it's just lowercase. And I have a special link, which will be in the description. So if you want to get 25% off these and get one for yourself, you can using that link and then use code Jaime25. Make sure you spell it right. It's Jaime 25 at checkout, and you get the discount. It would also be like a great gift if you're thinking about getting a gift for another knitter. I think that could be something that you could get them instead of just getting them yarn. I don't know. I just think, yeah, it's perfect, but also just treat yourself. Get one for yourself. Okay, I think that's everything. I'm not sure how long I've talked for, but I feel like I got through everything quite smoothly. That was a bit chaotic to organize, but not very chaotic to film, so that's good. I've been having a really fun time just knitting like a lot. I've had a lot of time to knit lately, which has been really, really nice. But I am going to try and spend a bit more time pattern writing this week because I do have a backlog of patterns I need to write. So yeah, we'll see. But I do plan on making a lot more progress on these whips in the next few weeks. Yeah, I don't plan on buying much more yarn at the moment. I do have one shipment on the way, which I will show you hopefully in the next video. But yeah, I have so much yarn in my stash. I don't really need to buy more yarn at the moment. So yeah, I don't know how many more yarn acquisitions I'll have in the next video, but that's okay. I am going to do a video soon going through my stash. I'm just like staring at it and it's like scaring me. Like it's going to be really confronting to go through my stash because there's a lot hiding in there that I don't even remember exists, and I need to go through it because I also want to like come up with more project ideas based on what I already have. So I will do a video soon, maybe next week, going through my yarn stash, organizing it, and just talking you through it. I probably won't be able to talk through every single yarn. That would take me forever, but I definitely plan on doing that because it's getting seriously out of hand. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out my last few videos. This is now, I think I'm on my 4th video, so we're getting consistent. And I'm uploading quite frequently. I don't really have a set upload date at the moment. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out and figure out what works for me. So I'm just uploading randomly at the moment, but it's been about twice a week. So yeah, I'm uploading regularly. So make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Give it a like, it really, really helps. Leave a comment, let me know what you're working on or which project in this video is your favorite. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, check out my patterns. And yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.